26 of Adventurers Wanted. Hey! My name is Chris. I will be your dungeon master for this last hour of today. We play 4 hours a day, and this is our fourth. You all right, mate? Taking a picture of me? It's all right. Get my good side. Oh, I like this audience already.
Don't get him started. Don't.
Right. Before we get started, I'd like to explain something to you. This is hour 76 of an ongoing story. So you're watching the 76th hour of a 100-hour story. Obviously, that will cause some confusion. It's understandable, and frankly, I'd be surprised if you weren't. So, if at any point during the show you'd like to shout out, I don't know what's going on, please help me understand what you're doing, that is absolutely fine. In fact, let's all test. Can everyone on three say what? 1, 2, 3.
What?
There we go, perfect. You guys will be fine. Good. We have a relaxed attitude to sound and movement from the audience, so at any time, please feel free to leap out and say so. Although we're not strictly a relaxed performance, as we have loud sound effects coming during the show from our friend Wilhelm at the back. There we go. Lovely. There will also be some music. But anyway, the lighting will stay exactly like this, and you can leave through either of those two, one open, one closed door, at any time during the show if you need to. The foyer outside, Sweet Company members wearing the red and black t-shirts are available to assist you and can let you back in if you want to come back in. There is a key fob system, so they'll have to let you. You can't just walk back in, basically. If you need assistance in the room, our stage manager, Nemo, is right there. Yay! They are available to help you. Give them a way of catch their eye. Head over to them if you need assistance with anything. That is right there. So, what are we doing? We are playing Dungeons & Dragons. Does everyone here know what that means?
No.
Yeah, some nods, some thumbs up, some not so sure. Okay, allow me to elaborate. The 4 players to my left and right play characters in a shared fantasy universe. And I play the shared fantasy universe. I control everything they encounter, everything they fight, everything they have to deal with. It's all me, baby. So, to make sure I don't abuse that awesome power, we use 20-sided dice to make some of it somewhat fair. This is a 20-sided dice, so a 1 on a 20-sided dice is absolutely awful. A 20 is absolutely amazing. Please feel free to cheer, applaud, and or boo if you don't know how you feel about the character at any given time. That's totally fair. I also roll, so boos are appropriate there, because you all want me to win, obviously. That's kind of the point of the game. Excellent. I lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
That's all right. And they also have character sheets. They are playing specific characters in this universe. In front of them is basically a long list of numbers. They get to add numbers to that said 20-sided dice roll to be better or worse at things. There will be other dice rolls as well, but we try and keep the maths to a minimum on this show because, let's face it, 'tis rather dull. Let's meet all the characters. So let's go around the table, starting on my right. Can you please give your name, your pronouns, your character's name, their pronouns, and a little bit about who your character is and what they're up to at this current moment as we're diving straight back into the action. For example, my name is Chris, and I use he, him pronouns.
So I'm Isla. I use she, her pronouns, as does my character Kimmy. She is a halfling monk, kind of hobbit person who's really good at hitting stuff, but her dream is to be a calligrapher. She doesn't really want to do all the fighting, but just be roped into it. At the moment, she's just killed a big creature thing. Quite triumphant at the moment.
Yep.
But there's still lots of evil things about to kill.
Don't worry, I'll explain where they are in a second.
Hi, I'm Jamie. I am a he, him, and so is my character Barksby, the Firbolg druid. Firbolg being half cow, humanoid thing that stands 7-8 foot tall. And druid being nature-based, and has currently been rocking that dinosaur.
Barksby is currently a T-Rex. We'll get there.
Hi, I'm Naomi. I use she, her pronouns, and as does my character Roberta, who is a war bard journalist extraordinaire. She currently is invisible and hitting things with her sword, which is one of the things that keeps her happy right now.
One could say you were greatly invisible because you cast greater invisibility.
I am greatly invisible because
There we go.
there's a difference between that and a normal invisibility spell, which we're not going to discuss
Honestly,
right now.
I was checking the crowd and they got the joke. So Emma.
I'm Emma. I'm playing Ezzy, who is she, her, as am I. Ezzy is a Yuan-Ti, which means she is half snake, half human. If you imagine Chris's hair, but black and with purple scales where his skin is, which run all the way down the left side of her body. If you were to touch her at the moment, she would be very cold because she just cast 2 ice spells in a row.
That is
and she's
true.
floating 10 feet in the air.
You're also a snake person, so you're generally quite cold.
Thanks, Chris.
You need to.
Feels like a judgment.
Not particularly, just a statement of fact. Right, good. Let's kick off. Let's have that battle music straight in so I can describe the situation as best I possibly can because we ended literally mid-combat. Right, so, in order, the T-Rex is standing by the door of a large room. It just got teleported there by an ability that allows this villain character who's standing in about three-quarters of the way into the room to move characters around and collapse the distance between various points. It also causes various kinds of damage when it does this. In front of this villain character, invisible, and it doesn't know she's there, is Roberta, holding her rapier. Sword? Rapier. Rapier, ready to go. Next to it is a creature called a mangler. It has 6 horrible spiky arms ripped out of its torso. It appears to be some kind of horrible mutated humanoid. Tufty black fur, very sharp, nasty, horrible thing. Ezzy is in between the two, floating about 10 feet up in the air because she has the ability to fly as part of her storm sorcery ability, having just cast 2 ice spells around the room, dealing with a lot of enemies in one go. Kimmy, on the other hand, is standing next to a gigantic portal, about 25 feet across and about 15 feet high. This is the final battle of these characters and the rebellion they are working with against a cult who took over their universe. They have pushed them back to this portal, the very last place they can be in this universe before they are no longer in it and through this portal and God knows where. So, where are we in initiative order? Roberta, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
Right, it's really important that these things happen in this order. So, the first thing I want to do is hit the seer with my rapier.
Go for it.
17?
That just pierces through its hide. The seer, much like the mangler next to it, is a deformed humanoid, but it has some kind of magical ability.
And that's 5 piercing damage. It's not ideal.
Oh no! You stab it in the calf, it looks slightly disgruntled.
Listen, you, that was me rolling a 1, so you just wait. Right, and
Sure. It doesn't have teleportation abilities. Like, you know.
Then I'm going to shout to Barksby, bite its head off, and give him an inspiration.
Great. That is your action and bonus action.
And then I am going to move 30 feet away from where I am at the moment, probably around the back of the seer, like just around that. Yeah.
So you're in between the seer and the portal.
Yeah.
You're in between the seer.
I've said it, Chris.
And fine. Fine by me. I am very happy with this. Thank you.
I'm just going to roll a new character real fast.
Barksby, what would you like to do?
I've got a 10-foot reach as a T-Rex.
You do.
I would not like to get right up into melee with the seer, but I would like to casually run towards it.
Sure.
And bite him, and then slap him with my tail.
Your inspiration's a D8, by the way, just so you know.
I think you'll need to snap him with your tail and then bite him, because if he's bit, he is grappled, and I'd love to see you try and hit yourself in the face with your tail.
Good point. Thank you for that.
And
You are welcome. I am a generous DM. I'm really not. This is a rare
So that is plus 10, 23.
Well, that absolutely hits it with the tail.
And the bite is...
Hang on. Does the tail have any effect of moving at any distance?
No.
It just hits it. Your tail smacks out and hits it
And
for...
22 hits with the bite. I'm
Cool.
just doing both attacks.
You hit with both?
But
Okay.
you can add a D8 to the damage if you want, because it's spell it's combat inspiration.
So with the tail, that's 14, 19, 27 with the tail.
27 with the tail.
Yes.
Yeah, we're 9th level, yeah.
And with the bite, it's 10, 20, 32, 40, 8, 55.
55 points of damage.
Yes. And he is grappled.
Grappled in your mouth.
And restrained.
And restrained in your mouth.
Yep. Nom nom nom.
Do you see how not worried I look?
Yeah. Let me have this moment, damn it.
No.
It's real cool!
It's a lot of damage.
It is. It's almost like it has a fuck ton of hit points because it's a boss character, and I kind of set this up. Cool.
That's the end of my turn.
I know
No, sorry.
Let's do the mangler first. There's still a mangler that looks really badly hurt in the middle of the room, going, looking at these gigantic creatures, not quite sure what to do. I mean, it's next to you, Kimmy. It's going to run up and try and hit you. What is your current armor class?
20.
Armor class of 20.
Monks.
Monks.
You play one too. Don't get
I know.
angry.
I never play my monk. Right. It runs up to strike you with its claws. +7 to hit, so 13 or higher. Nope! It slashes out twice, and you, agile little halfling, you leap over and underneath each slash, managing to avoid them both. It whimpers and looks back at the seer in the mouth of the T-Rex and doesn't know what to do. The seer, however, inside your mouth, laughs.
Uh-oh.
I knew I should have done
Oh,
that thing.
no.
Now, what is your T-Rex's armor class?
13.
13. I am going to roll for this. Even though it's inside your mouth, I don't think there's any way it can miss.
Okay, yeah.
But I think I will, just for, because it's a nice thing to do. I've got to roll a 1 or a 2 for this not to hit you.
Goody. Love it.
Right.
And for the next hour, I'm something completely different.
That's 10d10 psychic damage.
Oh boy.
Did this last time, you knew it was coming.
Yes.
Yeah.
10d10 psychic damage as from inside your mouth, 2 psychic orbs of energy blast directly into the underneath of your palate and blast directly into your T-Rexy brain.
Oh.
9, 18, 19, 23, 28, 29, 30, no, 29, I can't count, 29, 38, 40, 46, 51. 51 points of damage. Is the T-Rex still a T-Rex?
The T-Rex is not a T-Rex. He is a furbog now.
The furbog is blasted back, shrinking down into size as this creature lands in front of you. It's got terrible scars all across it from where you hit it, but it doesn't seem that fussed by it.
Oh boy.
Looking at all of you in this room, it laughs. Don't try and follow. You have no idea what faces you beyond. And it turns and runs through the portal.
Do I get an attack of opportunity on it?
Yeah.
Do I get an attack of opportunity on you?
No. You specifically said you stayed and used the 10-foot range, so no, you do not.
Good point, yeah.
Kimmy, you are dealing with one next to the portal. It is skirting around you. Roberta gets one last strike, though.
Yes!
It's a critical success.
Very well done. Excellent. Roll the damage on it.
2 8s, that's a 1. That's a 6, that's 7, plus 4 is 13.
13 points of damage. You stab it as it goes, and it hisses and howls and manages to claw its with it. It's still through the portal. It's gone.
Yeah. But I just like that one last.
It's all right. Still had about 20 hit points left when it left.
Oh.
It is gone. The mangler next to Kimmy is looking very, very confused. It is the mangler's, technically the mangler's turn, your turn before the mangler's, so it's got 10 hit points. It's looking awful.
I feel quite bad about hitting it now. I'm just gonna push it through the portal.
I'm going to say you leap up and just full on 2 legs, kick out at it and push it back through the portal. It's gone. And you are all left alone in this room with this portal. The cult now removed from your realm. You have done it. Let's just have a moment. You have pushed the cult back, and they are now left Deriland. For now.
For now.
The portal swirls in front of you.
Run up to it
Yep.
and just stand next to it with my hand, like.
Roll an Arcana check.
4.
4. Oh, it's a magic portal.
With my furbog ability, I would like to detect magic.
Please do. You look around this room. There is a faint glow of eldritch power in this area, but as you watch the influence of the cult leaving this space, everything around you is waning. The only thing glowing with any kind of brightness is this portal.
I take it it's a transmutation or conjuration effect.
Oh, the portal.
Yes.
The portal is a transmutation.
How big is this portal?
15 foot. What was it? 20 foot wide, 15 foot tall.
So, in relation to the portal that was on top of the castle with Lady Mesoff.
Yes, the previous cult leader who escaped through one of these portals and then returned with more eldritch horrors roughly a week later. Hint.
I am fully aware.
The portal was about half this size.
Shoot.
Oh dear.
We can't. Can I?
Behind
destroy it
you,
while everyone's on the island?
behind you, the remaining members of the rebellion, those that have survived, are coming down the corridor and entering this room and seeing all this and realise that the cult is no longer here, and there is cheering and much rejoicing. People seem to be genuinely overjoyed that the cult have been pushed back to this point, and there's even a small amount of that's it then kind of attitude from people around that it is done and it is over.
Can I see you? Are you visible?
I drop my invisibility. Yeah.
Okay.
I have no place here.
You can make yourself one. Like, we're not going to turn anyone who wants to help us away.
What is helping?
From the back, you hear sort of quiet applause and people cheering as through the centre of this group, some of the leaders of the rebellion, a man called Nils, an elderly sorcerer, and Ilassi, a elven ranger, are passing through. They were clearly part of this assault and have been assisting with this, and they are being cheered by their allies as they step through to join you at the front.
Can I take Ezzy to the side for a minute?
Of course.
If you'll let me. Look, you don't have to follow them. Like, if you don't want to be with them, that's fine. You absolutely don't have to be. But you could stay with us. You could help us. You could live a life that's not serving some god who's whispering in your head all the time.
Nobody whispers in my head.
Then why were you part of it?
They made me.
Roll a deception check. She's lying.
18.
Insight.
21.
She's lying. They didn't force.
Why did you really join up? I won't tell them.
Roll a deception and have it.
A, not deceiving. B, +9. Try me.
The power is all I've ever known. Home was like this. This is like this. I don't know how to not be like this.
Could you try for a power that's good and working for people's freedom instead of power that's for enslaving people?
I don't know.
We're trying to make use of the all and make it used for a good thing. I'm not keen on it, but our other sorcerers are really trying hard. That's something you could maybe help with.
Maybe.
While you're having this conversation, Nils and Elassie are turning and facing the crowd. Nils speaks. A great victory has been won. It is good to breathe free air. We must now focus on rebuilding what we got lost and preparing in case the cult do return. Hopefully this will push them back to a point where they will no longer be an issue for us, but he gets cut off. There are murmurings and whisperings from the back of the hall, and almost some sort of shrieks, like there's something's clearly wrong. This music might not be fitting.
Oh boy, oh boy.
She's working, let her do it.
Yeah. Correct. From the back of the room, you hear the crunching steps of heavy plate armor. And through the crowd steps, well, it looks like Mesoff, it looks like the leader of the cult. Her armor, but the face above it is the ex-leader of the rebellion, Simon, who was killed not long ago. This armor has the ability to keep people alive, and it appears that someone has kept Simon alive, and behind him, stepping with him, is Wisatris. They both step forward into the center of the space and turn back, and Wisatris steps forward. I'm so sorry, but that's not correct. We cannot leave this here. This cult cannot be allowed to continue. This ore allows them not only to travel to different planes of existence, but also, as we have seen, sadly, through time. I cannot begin to explain how that functions, nor if it will affect things for us in the past, present, or future, but we are not safe until this cult is vanquished and removed. We also do not know if this ore is indigenous to our world or if it exists in other places as well. If it is indigenous, we are an important location for them, and I can guarantee you they will return. I do not believe this is a task for everyone, and I will certainly not be one to force anyone to join in this expedition, but I, Simon, and quite a few of your compatriots will be moving forward, stepping through the portal and chasing the cult back to whatever it is they came from and destroying them. Nils, looking at them both, you can't be serious. We have won. Everyone, we have won. This is a time for celebration. This is not a time for... And what have you done to Simon? We need him. He is important. You know I see past, present, and future with my magic. You understand this. I need him. Simon leans forward, his voice now a terrible rasp. I understand my role, and I will fulfill it. You guys react.
I stand next to them.
Which ones?
Wisatris.
And Simon.
I'm backing Wisatris.
You go and stand with her.
I'm
Okay.
signalling that I will walk through.
She looks you up and down briefly, blinks and nods, and turns back. Who else will join us?
Wisatris, I agree with you, but what you've done to Simon is... it's wrong.
I would have wanted to die. I cannot deny this. I gave my life in service of something I believe in. But Wisatris is correct. I have seen what she's seen. She has shown me. This cult is a virus, spread across countless planes of existence. And if it survives, no one is safe. In my return, I have dedicated myself to its destruction, and I will not rest until every last member of it is gone.
Does it seem like he's fully okay with that?
Roll an insight check.
Okay with that decision. Like 9.
9.
Yeah.
It's very tough to tell because he's basically a dead body in a walking suit of armor. But there is a horrid conviction in him. There is a glow in his eyes you've never seen before. Roll me a history check.
It's a nat 1.
It's a nat 1.
It's 11 with my modifier.
It's
but
a nat 1.
Yeah.
No, that's all you get, I'm afraid. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna take a second and then I'll join Wisatris and Simon.
Very well. Would you like some water? You've got water. Okay. Don't worry. Don't mind the interruption. Just making sure you're okay.
Amy would really like to go back to a normal life of calligraphy.
Kimmy is absolutely welcome to do so. There is the choice.
But the problem is, Kimmy was there when Simon died, and always felt really guilty since then about not helping him, because she was so focused on getting his armor off the person to kill them.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Simon clearly didn't want this to happen, and he's now a dead body in a suit.
Some may call him a revenant.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
So because of that guilt that she didn't save him, and now this has had to happen, she was gonna go and fight with them still until it's done, and hopefully then the calligraphy will be waiting when she comes back. Words are always there, it's gonna be fine. So yeah, I'll go and stand beside Simon and say, I'm really sorry you died.
A gigantic hand covered in spiked armor, the palms aren't spiked,
Oh, thank God.
lands on your shoulder.
It's quite all right. It wasn't your decision.
Barksby at this point has been taking seeds that he's been taken from the oak and bramble.
Yep.
He's been planting them around the door so that things may bloom to purify this ore.
As we established earlier.
Yep.
I mean, this isn't ground, this is stone floor.
Roots will find anything. Especially,
All right, Druid, Jesus!
especially with druidic magic, man.
Okay, you place seeds on hard stone floor, use druidic magic on an island that doesn't have any plants on it. Okay, roll a nature check and roll fucking high.
It does now. It has plants now.
I did roll high.
What'd you roll?
22.
Plants on the island.
Plants on the island.
You place the seeds around the sides of the ore portal. Hold your hands together, and your druidic magic flows through you. And as it does, it emanates out of your hands. It's a green, sort of mossy glow, isn't it?
With a blue tinge.
The
as
blue
well.
tinge, this mossy glow comes out of your hands, and there's almost like fungal spores just settle on these seeds, and the roots start to move and split and crack and break their way through the rock, tunneling down. You don't know how far down, but you keep concentrating, keep pushing until you know you find earth. And you stop, and these tiny seeds are just cracks in the floor. But you know that in the end they will grow, and when they grow, the ore will be purified back into its crystalline form. When it is not perverted by an ancient evil elder god, that is what happens.
Mm-hmm.
And in doing so, the portal will cease to exist. It will take many years.
Oh yeah. It's dying. And I look back at Simon. Barksby look back at Simon. I don't agree with this. This is not natural. It's an abomination, that armor. But I do agree that this parasite of the cult needs to go. I don't agree with how you're doing it, though. I'll fight with you, but only for nature's sake. Simon is dead. You're not him anymore.
Wasatris leans across and looks at you. How do you know? I am genuinely asking.
Which is what I believe. And my hope is that the real Simon has been rebirthed somewhere else as the wheel of nature turns.
I am not one to judge for belief. If that is your condition, it is accepted.
I'll begrudgingly stand next to them.
She turns back to the rest of the crowd. You others. I know it is an incredibly difficult choice, and I will not begrudge anyone a life of peace, even if it may be short-lived, as opposed to whatever faces us beyond here, which I cannot even begin to fathom. Who else will join? The crowd murmurs, some backing and forthing. Nils next to her turns back and goes, "This is ludicrous. You do not need to do this."
Can I ask a quick question?
Of course.
Have I been through the portal?
No. No, your cultly activities were centered around this island and this island alone. You do not need to do this. Do not feel you are drawn into this by this. She reanimated a man with a suit of armor. I do not think this is the wisest choice to make. Whatever is beyond that, we do not know. You say space, you say time. From what I've gathered from the aura, it could be literally anywhere. We do not even know what exists beyond our realm of existence.
Nils, how do you intend to get rid of this portal?
By destroying it.
So who's going to die to destroy this portal? Who's going to be here to die to destroy this portal?
I will volunteer myself if necessary for everyone to not take part in this madness.
So you're going to kill yourself.
This is done. This rebellion, this is done. We now must focus on regrowth. We must focus on everyone making sure that they have a life ahead of them. This cult may or may not return. We do not know.
But
We
what
do
if
not know
they do?
anything about it.
But what if they do come back?
Then we will fight back. We did last time, we will do it again.
But why not be proactive?
Why not
Take
save
the
other
fight
people?
to them.
If that is your decision, I will not stand against it. Those who do not wish to take part in this, by all means, we will leave you to it. Do as you see fit. I cannot promise that this portal will be here for you to return to.
I don't want to return here anyway.
Well, then the answer is simple from you. All others, you understand what you're letting yourself in for. There may be no way home. We cannot allow this to exist in our world.
I'm turning around and I'm walking through.
You walk through. As he turns and passes through the portal and is gone.
Niles, I understand your decision. But so long as this infestation exists in our multiverse, all of nature's out of balance, and I have a duty to attend to.
But you do not know this. It is based on your beliefs.
But I don't know that it doesn't. There's an uncertainty.
Then your decision is made. I understand.
Do
Please.
not begrudge the people who go. But have a good life, Niles. And I step through.
Elassie standing next to him has been very quiet, just standing there, arms crossed.
I'm going to turn to everyone and just say, listen, the choice here is simple, but there's no right one. You can stay here, and you can live a peaceful life, and you are all so entitled to that. Or you can come, and you can fight, and you can stop other people going through what we went through. No one's given me a good enough reason to stay, and I'm sorry I won't be able to return. But once we're gone, whoever comes with us, destroy this portal. Please. And I go and I step through.
You step through as well?
I've already stepped through. I do wave goodbye to everyone.
Okay. You wave goodbye and step through. You note at this point that as the traffic has started, if you will, other members of the rebellion are also stepping up and passing through the portal. Some, not all. And frankly, this goes for any other player characters at this table who are not here today. Your choice. Your character can go, your character can stay. It's entirely up to you.
Does, sorry to throw off to the table. Telemachus, do you come? Okay, so I'll wait for Telemachus and then we'll go through together.
Off-screen buddies, that's totally fair.
Oh, just before passing to the portal, I do take a bit of my fungal arm and plop it next to the portal, so that it would have a place here. Because fungus grows a lot better in stony surfaces.
He's about to blow up this arch. Cool. Gimme.
Don't feel peer pressured. Do what's right for your
Dilemma.
character.
Oh, I really like home.
Elassie turns to Nils as this is happening. Take the others away, please. No, I'll do it. This is partly my fault. You can research what is left of it here. You can help cleanse it. And maybe you can make Goldcrest what it was. I cannot. It is my fault that thousands die continually, over and over again. Goldcrest is in a continual time warp where a genocidal bomb going off is happening continuously forever. Yeah, that was a dark one. That's her fault. Anyway, she turns to Niels and goes, I will happily end this here if you promise to fix Goldcrest for me. He nods, puts a hand on her shoulder and walks back down the corridor, and again, some members of the rebellion do follow back out again. Not everyone is necessarily going, because I'm not forcing that on any player.
Suicide Squad.
Kimmy, the room is clearing, people going either through the portal or out the door. It's just you and Elassie standing still.
As I said, I really like home. But home is kind of gone.
Do you say that out loud?
Yeah.
You can always rebuild a home. Home is a concept, not a place.
It really doesn't matter.
Also true. You step through. None of you see this, but I will describe it. As the remainder of the rebellion either step through the portal and vanish, or step away out of the room and leave. In the end, it's just Elassie alone in this wide room. Glowing portal in front of her, magical glowing ore all round it. She's thinking about all the things she's done, the person she's become, what has changed. And realizes that this is all right. It's only correct. She's caused the death of millions. What is one more person? The ore already glows, it's already activated, and we know that a short, sharp shock detonates it. She looks down the corridor back, it's empty, everyone's left. Looks at the portal and, for old time's sake, stands back and fires an arrow at it. Outside, on the island, everyone watches as the top of the ziggurat, it doesn't explode. It implodes. It is slowly torn in, the inside seemingly sucking in like a black hole as the whole thing starts to break down. People on the island realise this effect is growing, it is spreading, and start to run. They run down to the beachhead where the boats are, people piling on, desperately trying to get away as boats start to sail out and away from the island. As they do, as these boats go, they look back, and this entire temple structure and this entire island is being pulled in. Rocks, trees, strange non-Euclidean stairs, all of it being pulled in, almost into an absence of sound. At this point at the top of the ziggurat, now just an empty space with pieces falling towards it. And as the pieces fall towards it, and eventually it stops, single pinprick point, and then it's gone. Like the island was never there. Now, we're never going to go back. We're never going back to Deriland. Over time, they do recover. Assuming the cult don't come back. But I don't know, because unfortunately, our time is linear. So, as far as we know, for now, the rebellion managed to rebuild. Nils spends years trying to fix Goldcrest but can't. The effect is too great. The effect of the ore is too massive. They simply don't know what to do with it. It remains a horrible, constant reminder of what happened. However, the skies eventually clear of the blood-red tinge they've had since the cult arrived. Families are reunited, people are buried. Remaining cultists that are left, very, very few of them, are converted forgiven, or in some cases unrepentant, executed. But peace does return to Holmwood. Peace does return to the Dwarven barbarians of the north, still led by Brodrin. Kahim and his druids in the forests of oak and bramble. There is more of a sense of togetherness now. Maybe this all brought them closer together, I don't know, some moral in that. But yes, we are done with this world. As from tomorrow we dive into the multiverse, chasing the last remnants of this cult to see where it takes us, and that's where we're going to end this hour of Adventurers Wanted. Thank you ever so much, guys. So, thank you so much for joining us. The adventure continues tomorrow in the multiverse. We have some real fun writing some crazy stuff, so please do join us for that. That will be continuing tomorrow and every other day, 10:30 until 2:30 for the rest of the Fringe. You can also catch up on what we are doing on Twitter at Adventurers250, where our stage manager, Nemo, right there, has been live streaming this entire hour over Twitch and been live tweeting as well. So there is a Twitter record of everything that's happened in the show. So you can absolutely catch up on any point, and there are memes and GIFs as well, so you can get that side of the story too if you so desire. And on Twitch you can of course watch every hour. It is a live streaming broadcast, but it also archives everything. I think we're about to start losing some of our archive because of the 2 weeks. Okay.
Basically, if it's a show that's
Chloe's just explaining what's going on stream.
if it's a show that's more than 2 weeks ago, it won't be on the Twitch stream.
There we go.
It will be uploaded once we're back in London and have better internet connection available.
There we go.
So we can download them, but we can't upload them.
That's right. We're downloading from Twitch. None of the hours are lost. Don't worry about that. You'll be able to watch them on YouTube probably from sort of mid-September, I'm guessing. Like, that feels safest to offer. But it will all be up there to watch. You can catch up on it if you have 100 spare hours, you know. That will all be there for you if you so desire. Also, you obviously paid your £5 to be in the room. Thank you ever so much. We really appreciate it. Jamie and Emma also paid their £5 to be at the table. You can pay to play. There we go. Oh, that's a turn of phrase I shouldn't be using. But yes, you can pay to be at the table and join us at the table. We like to introduce D&D to a wide group of people. I'm particularly proud to say that we have 3 female players at the table, as there is a perceived D&D monoculture that I know I somewhat represent. So we'd like to do things to avoid that, introduce more people to this hobby, because we all think it's really fucking lovely and important, as I'm sure some of you do too. If you think that is a valuable aim and you'd like to help us in doing so, we have a Patreon online where there are rewards starting from just £1. And if you'd like to help us there with our goal of bringing it to more people, we'd really appreciate it. There's also a donate button on the website if that's easier for you, or you prefer not to be giving money away every month. I can understand that. We do free play events, accessibility events, live games like this in London, Edinburgh, Brighton, and we are expanding beyond that point. So wherever you are based in the UK, hopefully we will see you there as well at some point. Before I go, I'd like to give all of our players a chance to, a round of applause for all of our players. Lovely game. And B, they are all people who have lives, so I'd like them to give them all a chance to talk about other stuff they are doing that is either D&D related, or maybe up here at the Fringe you could enjoy as well.
Sure, so I play with adventurers in London, so if you're in London, come see Omen, which is our monthly game. I'm also about to start a live play podcast of Curse of Strahd, so if you want to hear more D&D and more me playing crazy spellcasters, keep an eye on my Twitter, which is @EmmaArshiard.
Thank you.
I've got a couple of projects that are sort of launching in the next 2 months, none of which I can actually talk about yet. So, unfortunately, well, it's true.
So what, follow me on Twitter and see what happens?
Basically, yeah. One of them is like sort of in the works with myself and the other DM Leo, and there's a couple of other things as well going on, all D&D themed and related. So if you're interested in any of the stuff I'm doing, yeah, follow me on Twitter. It's Naomi Jade, but it's a weird spelling of Naomi, but I tag myself on the Twitter when I'm on stage managing, so if you check tomorrow morning, you'll be able to see my Twitter handle there.
Or day before yesterday, because we had sort of 2 days on, 2 days off, didn't we?
Yeah, the day before yesterday. Don't scroll back through like 200 tweets. Just wait till tomorrow, and I will tweet my Twitter handle.
There we go, sorted. Isla.
Mine's not D&D related, really, but
That's
I'm
fine.
a sign language interpreter. So if you need any sign languagey things.
Isla sign language interprets the 10:30 to 11:30 hour every morning for us, so that's live improvised sign language. It's incredibly impressive.
It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
very fun, very challenging.
I'm sure I think most D&D concepts don't exist in BSL, so that's. How would you do Beholder?
Oh, I've wondered about that.
Because there's lots of eyes.
It's you got the big eye in the middle.
Yeah.
And then you got all the eyes on the right side. So I give what?
You might need to decide on something.
Oh no!
Oh, May!
Uh-oh. Big mouth. I think it's one eye, big mouth. We'll do that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
If you're interested in more adventure stuff, there is the Dark Room, which happens at the Underbelly on Cowgate at 8 o'clock every day. It's run by a lovely Australian gentleman called John Robertson. I think I'm saying his name right.
You are.
And it is a text-based adventure game. It doesn't sound awfully exciting, but it's really, really funny.
I mean, if you like this, you'll like that.
Yeah, definitely. And his is a lot more interactive and comedy-based.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And I'd like to ask everyone to give a round of applause to our amazing GM, Chris.
Oh. Thank you very much. You are very kind. And with that, we will bid you adieu for today. If you'd like to join us tomorrow or any other day of the Fringe, do grab tickets from the Sweet Box office outside or edfringe.com. If you want to buy a player ticket, then you'll need to turn up and see if the ticket's available on the hour. It's only returns now, I'm afraid, but do check in and see. And if not, you can always watch an hour. That's nice. Apart from that, if you can't join us for the rest of the Fringe, if you're going home or going somewhere else or heaven knows what else, enjoy the rest of your Fringe. Hope you see some lovely shows, and thank you for being here. Cheers.
Also, if you were going to follow me and Emma on our Twitter plugs, Nemo's just tagged us. Thank you, Nemo.
There we go. Splendid. Thanks, guys. Whew.